Tudor's Black Bay 58 raises some interesting questions about whether we want something versus we think we want something. So let's talk about bronze. But before we talk about bronze versus DLC gold and these other materials that make us feel like we have a precious metal that's exciting and different and unique from other people, let's talk about what we want to know about the watches that are being marketed to us. We want to know if a watch is made well. A well-made watch is more than just being a chunk of gold or platinum. We also look for areas of the watch like the dial, the cases, where imperfections may be, or where manufacturing processes are very noticeable. We pay extra attention to hands and indices, finishing, alignment, and if it comes on a bronze bracelet with an entirely new clasp and a fan favorite size, something like the Black Bay 58 in bronze is going to get our attention every time. The next thing we care about is, are the materials fantastic? One way to check this is if it's in a precious metal or has fancy materials like silicone hairsprings, for example. We want to know if the materials are good quality for the price. It's acceptable for a $100 watch to have a mineral crystal. We feel less so about a $500 watch with a mineral crystal or a $7,000 watch with a mineral crystal. The logic is simple. If the company spent an extra dime to use precious materials or semi-precious metals, then they probably had good reason for it, right? This leads to our next question of emphasis. Is the movement reliable? Is it significant? Both. At this price range, is it uncommon for in-house movements to be used? Outsourced ETA, Miyota, or Seiko movements are very common. This is not necessarily a negative. We want to know if the movement is significant. Is it being used to its full capacity? Is it going to be fun? Is it enjoyable? Does it have complications that are relevant to my day-to-day life? We weigh these movements against their price-relevant peers, which is a nice segue into price, right? Is the watch priced appropriately? Brand equity, materials, finishing, and availability all factor in to the price of a timepiece. We're very critical of how a watch is priced. And if the watch is priced well, we'll know that because it has good value. So that's our last point, right? Is the watch a good value? More than just price. A good value is defined by a watch that blends price, materials, and passion all into one recipe of beauty, perfection. When a watch is made well, it's priced right. It comes from a brand with an interesting story to tell. It has heritage. It has context into the larger narrative of what it means to wear a watch. And that is how we tell if something has great value. So saying all that, let's get into the real point of this video. Let's talk about the Baltic Bronze Aquascaphe and the Laurier Falcon 1 in gold DLC. These are two very beautiful watches, very different, and yet they kind of represent a real catalyst for conversation at these specific price points. So the Laurier is a watch that I've admired for a long time. This Falcon it's beautiful. It's a really great value. I think when it came out, it was no more than $400 or $500, and it was really hard to hunt these down because people who bought these typically did not let go of them. So I got myself this Laurier Falcon in a beautiful gold DLC as a nice little date at the 6 o'clock. Kind of reminds me of an Aquaterra from Omega in terms of just overall usability. It's somewhere between dressy and sporty, yet the sporty comes with a lot of dynamism. You've got 200 meters of water resistance. You've got a case that just breeds interest, right? It's gold DLC, but it also has some really nice contrasts between brushing and polished surfaces that make it visually interesting and mature, sophisticated. I love the chevron on the crown. Take a look at that. Absolutely beautiful. It's actually got a bit of a mirror finish to it. And yeah, I can see my reflection quite clearly there. The date and the 6 o'clock is well carved out. It looks like there was supposed to be a date here. It's not obtrusive. It doesn't get in the way. It just does what it's supposed to do. Applied indices and gold polished hands. Very beautiful all the way around. Very easy to tell what time it is. Sort of lends itself to being a dress piece in how I guess you could say demure or melancholy the dial is. There's really nothing yelling at you here, but there is visual interest also, not just in the gold, but in the waffle pattern here. It's not even a waffle, it's more of a falcon talon pattern that I've been calling it. It kind of looks like the feathers or talons of a falcon. It's very cool. They're very sharp and well done. The text is crisp, clean, and beautiful. So overall, you've got a great mix of just beauty and sophistication, but some sportiness from those really sharp edges all the way around. And yeah, comfortable to wear. Pretty thick watch, which I thought it was fitting to compare against a dive watch, like the bronze Aquascaphe. By the way, I have this Laurier on a Timex bracelet or strap that is very well done. It's made of the same leather that Red Wing uses for their boots. So I thought that was very beautiful and went pretty well with it. Anyway, let's get into the bronze Aquascaphe. This is a watch that I have gushed about again and again, and for good reason. Go get one. Okay, this is a beautiful bronze watch and really the topic of the day, right? I love my Tudor Black Bay 58. I wear it almost every single day when it's not competing against a flurry of other interesting pieces that I'm reviewing. But the bronze Aquascaphe to me was the first dive watch I ever really loved wearing on a daily basis, not just when I'm going to do something sporty or when I might get wet, going to the pool or something like that. This is a watch that I wear with great comfort. It's something that makes me passionate about watches because it reminds me why they're so damn cool. First things first, yeah, check out the patina on this watch. That's what's first going to storm out at you. And then it's going to be those beautiful numbers on the dial. I mean, I call them beautiful because they're actually so different. They're somewhere between futuristic and super retro. It sounds crazy, but I mean, look, how often do you see a 6 and a 9 like that? Baltic really knows what they're doing with typography. It's simple, not too basic looking. And yeah, the 12369 kind of lends itself to a little bit of the Explorer aesthetic. You have crown guards here on the crown, which is a little bit different from the Laurier. And what the overall difference, and the first thing that's going to shout at you, is the patina on this bronze, right? Do we want to pay extra for a bronze material? Would that be better than something like this Laurier Falcon's Gold DLC? A lot of people say that anything that's fake gold or gold DLC or gold colored is tacky. Sure, you can agree with that if you'd like to. I think it's just a color and it's cool. You know, I also collect knives, and I don't ever look at a knife that's DLC black and say, that's tacky, because it's not really supposed to be black. It's really steel. That sounds a little crazy, right? You know, I think if we change the color of our watch case, that should be okay, right? That's fine. We are okay with dials being different colors and straps being different colors. Why do we care about cases being different colors? Why do we mind that? Why do we have a personal problem with something that is gold colored? Okay, I get the argument. You are trying to appear like you've got a lot of wealth. You're trying to appear like you have an all gold watch. You're being fake. You're lying by wearing a gold watch. Okay, I can understand that point. However, it's 2021, okay? We all are having a hard time coming out of this pandemic. We're all having a hard time with life in general. It's a very difficult, sin-filled world. Why don't we have a little bit of fun, okay? Can I please have a gold watch? It works better with my complexion. If it doesn't work well on your complexion, don't yell at everybody else who likes to wear gold watches. Just chill out and get your own stainless steel sports watch, okay? Calm down. Second of all, gold DLC or gold plating is as old as watchmaking itself. We've always seen different kinds of colors and materials on watches. Why are we still having this conversation about you're not supposed to wear that case material? It's a little bit ridiculous to me, but it makes for great content here. Is bronze better than a fake gold DLC? They both have their pluses and negatives, right? First positive for gold DLC would definitely be that it just looks great. This Laurier Falcon is much older than this bronze Aquascaphe. However, it definitely has that sheen of being new. Whereas bronze, you can't hide how long you've been holding onto a bronze watch. With this Laurier, I feel very comfortable wearing this. I look at it like it's brand new every time I pick it up. It always has that shiny sheen. It always feels great on my wrist. It never corrodes really, but it will over time weather, right? It will wear off eventually. Now, the way Laurier had this process of gold DLC done, it's not exactly what I'm describing, and I'll give you some notes on that in a second. But with the bronze, you can definitely tell that it's been aged. You cannot hide how long you've been holding on to a bronze watch. Now, with gold, you always feel like you're worried about somebody looking at your watch and worrying if it's real gold or not. If you're thinking about that when you're wearing a gold DLC'd watch, then you're a little bit crazy, okay? Just love the fact that you own a watch that you enjoy and enjoy it. Don't worry about what other people think. I certainly don't give a dang or a hoot about what other people's watches are. As long as they enjoy them and they're excited about it, that's what's really, really important. Now, if you're into the look of something looking weathered, then bronze is for you. But a lot of people don't like bronze because they're concerned about their hand turning green with a with a bronze bracelet. And I get it. You know, we saw Zelos and Oris bring all bronze watch and bracelets to the table over the past year. And now Tudor has an all bronze bracelet with their Tudor Black Bay 58 bronze. And to be honest with you, I'd rather have a gold DLC than a bronze watch. And that's me personally. But in a practical application, when I'm going to wear a watch, I want it to be versatile. And with a bronze watch, you're kind of stuck with this statement of, I'm a real watch enthusiast. I really wear my watches. I really like to go into the water, or I live in a humid area, or I'm into precious metals. It's kind of a statement at all times, whereas a gold DLC watch can be understated. If anybody sees it, they're just gonna say, oh, okay, that's a cool watch. If bronze is always gonna yell, I've been through some things, okay? It's gonna bring that drama. So I think before we look at whether or not Tudor should be able to bring a bronze watch to the table, or if we really believe that bronze is a material that should be used often for watches, let's consider the fact that we are limiting our own favorite companies and what we would want them to do. I don't think it's practical to wear a bronze bracelet and bronze watch all the time as a daily wear. It's going to look very old and vintagey very quickly, and I think for a mass market audience, that's not something that everybody is okay with or is cool with. You put on a Rolex Submariner from the 60s, it's still gonna be stainless steel, right? It's still gonna look like it's the same steel from the day it came out. Whereas with a bronze watch, after a year or two of wearing it, it looks like it's from the 60s, right? Or it looks like it's been to a dump somewhere. Or it looks like you're a real diver and you've been through a lot of things. Maybe you've been to war with this watch. So you've got to take some real patience when you're judging somebody for their case material, color, or anything like that. We all want to wear what we want to wear. Let's not judge each other. Let's have an open mind here. So I know this was a little bit of a rant, but the last point here is price, okay? If you are looking at my all gold watch that is not real gold and calling me tacky for wearing it, I salute you. You're cool, no problem. But dude, I don't have $30,000 for a brand new Rolex Presidential Day Date with, in yellow gold or rose gold. I don't have that at the moment. I've got 3 kids that I've got to think about before I get that grail of mine. So for the moment, you're damn right I'm gonna enjoy some gold DLC. It's not because I want people to think that I'm rich. I don't want people to think I'm rich. That makes me a target. It's not because I want to show my watch friends that I have a gold watch and they can't afford it. That doesn't matter to me. I'm not some weird old creepy dude with a jangly, fake gold watch on trying to pawn, objects to you, or to solicit some weird pyramid scheme to you, okay? This is not old car salesman scam. That's not why I'm wearing a gold DLC watch, my friend. I'm wearing it because I like the color, okay? If I like the color purple, is that tacky? So we have to take a really deep inside look at why we are seeing Tudor use different materials, why we are seeing brands use gold DLC. I think it's because it's more affordable to make a gold DLC watch and more people get to enjoy it. Whereas with an all gold watch, only the select few will be able to actually enjoy and buy one of those watches. And I think that it ought to be that way. I think that when you get a real gold watch, you know it and you appreciate it. But if you can't get a real all gold watch, at the moment, at least you can enjoy something that is precious to you. And bronze, yes, at first it will look gold. It will look beautiful. It will look tough and like iron and have that coppery vibe to it. But over time, it will decay and it will turn into this beautiful sort of like submarine, been under the water for 300 years and you just dug it up with the Titanic. That is also very interesting. However, not a look that I think everybody will be concerned about keeping on their wrist at all times. I think that more than anything, gold DLC proves that watch manufacturers are thinking about people with different complexions. If you don't like gold, just admit it. If you don't like gold DLC, just admit it. It doesn't work with your complexion, and that's okay. But for people like me who have this beautiful chocolatey pink rose gold kind of undertones under my skin and blonde arm hairs, gold looks mighty good on me. It looks mighty fine, okay? Especially rose gold, which is why I love the Tudor Black Bay 58. Anyway, gone on a little bit too long with this video. Hope this was interesting to you. Hope you enjoyed looking at these two watches and you kind of get my drift here. Would I wear either of these watches every day for the rest of my life? Yes, I believe both of these watches are one watch collections. However, I don't think it's practical to wear a bronze vintage looking watch that kind of looks dirty, okay, to a job interview, a wedding or bar bat mitzvah. I'd rather wear the Laurier Falcon 2, even if it's less expensive, even if it's not a precious metal at all. I don't feel like a fake tacky person. You can think that I am, but I think I look frickin' sharp in this watch with a suit on. And if I feel that way, then I'm gonna perform that way at that interview. I'm gonna have that much fun at that wedding. And I'm gonna say Mazel Tov at that bat mitzvah, okay? If I'm wearing a watch that makes me feel like I'm just jealous of everybody else's watch, then I'm not gonna be happy. So don't buy what other people tell you is not tacky or is cool. Buy what you think is frickin' cool. I like them all, which is why I have too many watches. Anyway, Knife Watch out.